Spring is upon us, my fellow fragrance lovers. Today I've got 8 great fragrances that will do you justice in spring. Some of these you can wear all year round, but I think they will shine in spring and summer. Let's get cracking. What is good, YouTube? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mikey Cologne, and thank you very much for tuning in today. That is right, spring is upon us. I've got some great fragrances to go through here today, but before I get going, if you're new to my channel and you do enjoy my content, hit that subscribe button. It is completely free. Always press the bell because it will notify you when I drop a review at a later date. I have a code for you lot, Unique Luxury discount code. If you're interested in any of their fragrances, go over to their website. Once you've put whatever you want in the cart, where it says discount code, put in Mikey-Kute23. That will give you 15% off your order. I earn no money, no commission. The code's there for you lot to save yourself some dough. Plus, if you're interested in any samples, check out Small Aromas if you live in the UK. They do some great designer and niche fragrances on their website at a reasonable price. So if you're stuck and you don't want to blind buy a full bottle, check their website out. I don't get paid to promote this. I'm going to get going. Right, I'm going to start off with a newest release from the house of Givenchy. It is Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. I think this is a great fragrance. This is a true flanker to the Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum, whereas you can tell that this fragrance belongs next to that fragrance, but there is more things going on with this and different things as well. Let me just spray this fragrance. I love the way this opens up. This is good. This is a good fragrance. Clary Sage, Peppermint, Indonesian Nutmeg, Orris Concrete, Narcissus Absolute, Sandalwood, Coffee Extract, Quartet of Vetiver, 3 different types of vetiver in this fragrance, cedarwood and vanilla. Now, this does open up bright. There is a fresh side to this fragrance, a little bit aromatic straight out the gate. But with this, you get that coffee. Now, to me, the coffee comes across smelling like dark coffee beans. And at first, I noticed it a little bit. But the more and more I have worn this fragrance, the more I notice that coffee. Maybe it's because my brain now knows that it has coffee in it, that I'm really starting to pick it up. But it really does shine in the opening. But it doesn't last too long. Once it starts heading into the mid, the aromatic side to this fragrance, it does really dial up. Now you get the vetivers, you get this really strong woodsy tone that comes through, but it's not overpowering. It's a little bit earthy, it's a touch smoky, but here, that Orris, it smooths out the fragrance. I think it takes the edge off of them vetivers. It sort of turns the mid a little bit buttery. I wouldn't say very creamy, just a little bit buttery and very smooth. Now, the longer this does sit, it does get closer to the OG because that coffee fizzles out, that Orris does calm down, and then when it's sort of sitting from mid to dry down, like near to the dry down, it is quite woods heavy, it's aromatic, a touch of sweetness, still smooth, and a little bit vanillic. And that is how it sort of sits. With all the woods in this fragrance, you would think that this would be a wood dominant scent. It isn't. You can tell that it has a woodsy side to it. Sandalwood, cedarwood and 3 different types of vetivers. You can tell that it has a woodsy side to it, but it's not overbearing. Like I said, I think that Orris has a part to play in just smoothing everything out. This is a great fragrance. You could make this as your signature scent. You can wear this day, you can wear this night, you can wear this to the office, you can wear it dressed down, you can wear it dressed up if you're going out for drinks. It's a nice masculine fragrance. Great for spring, early summer. That is Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme. This fragrance that I want to talk about now is a safe blue style fragrance. It is mass appeal, it is easy to wear, it is a dumb reach, and it smells great. It is Legend from the house of Aaron Terence Hughes. This, my friends, if you want a fragrance that will be a workhorse, that will be very versatile, where you can dress it up or dress it down, get your paws on this fragrance. It's masculine and it smells great. And the way this opens up, it's citrusy. Right, we'll get into it. You've got Italian bergamot, lemon, grapefruit, ambroxan, apple, tonka bean, galbanum, patchouli, sandalwood, oak moss, drywoods, pink pepper, and elemi. Bright, a little bit zesty, a little bit pulpy. That bergamot and that grapefruit really do jump off of my skin when this first opens up. And that apple is there alongside the citrus notes. And it does give this fragrance a little bit of a fruity twist, a little bit of a juicy quality alongside that pulpy grapefruit. So it's like they're fighting. The grapefruit and the apple, to me, are fighting to try and take first place. This one wants to be a little bit pulpy. This one wants to be a little bit juicy. But with this, you get a nice dose of ambroxan. And to me, that pushes the fragrance even more. Now, as it starts to settle in, it does go a little bit green, the patchouli and the galbanum. Plus, you get a woodsy undertone. The patchouli here comes across a little bit dry and woodsy. I would say a little bit dark. But then you've got the galbanum blending in with the patchouli, giving this fragrance a little bit of a green tone. Dries down a little bit more, the woods amp up a little bit. Now the elemi, that sort of carries that citrusy quality through to the fragrance, keeping a level of spice in the fragrance as well. And then you've got the oak moss, the dry woods, so this does have a little bit of an earthy base, but this is fresh through and through. This is citrusy through and through. This is woodsy, this is spicy, but it's clean. Great fragrance. Will shine in the spring and summer as well. That is Legend. Longevity, 7 to 8 hours. It's a solid performer, especially for a freshie. Now, if you're in the market for a green fragrance, or you enjoy green fragrances with a fruity twist, I've got you covered. This is Houbigant's Figu Noir. This is a stunning fragrance, and the quality of this juice. Look at the bottle, classy, elegant, weighty metal cap. These are solid metal caps, these are. Not a bad atomizer. Oh my God, I love this stuff. I really do. You lot must look at my bottles and think, most of these bottles are nearly full. It's because I've got so much fragrances and I'm always testing new fragrances. Trust me, I do go back and wear fragrances, but I don't hardly put a dent in my fragrances because I have a ton of them. That is the reason why. But I do take the caps off and smell the atomizers on some of my fragrances like a weirdo. But anyway, I'm getting back to this. You got fig leaf, cardamom, black pepper, clove, black fig, iris, jasmine, cedar, fig again, patchouli, and candied figs. So there's lots of figs in this fragrance, and this does go through stages. It opens up very green. It opens up with a nice dose of fresh spice, but with this you've got this bitter, slightly fruity fig. Now, as this fragrance settles in, the iris here gives this a powdery edge. The jasmine then blending in with the fig note starts turning this a little bit milky and slightly creamy. Now, settles down a little bit more, woods come through. The patchouli here really does add an earthy quality to this fragrance. Dries down a little bit more. Now, this is when Figu Noir is at its fruitiest, is in the dry down. It sort of opens up with a nearly ripe fig, and as it settles, it gets juicier and juicier and fruitier, and in the end you're left with the candied fig, which is sweet, still green, soft, spicy, a little bit woodsy and earthy. It's a stunning fragrance. To me, it leans more on the masculine side because of the woodsy side of this, because of the green side of this, because of that earthy quality that this fragrance has. Yes, it is fruity, it's powdery, it's a little bit milky, it's creamy. A woman could pull this off. But to me, I think this leans more on the masculine side. But this is, trust me, this is a stunning fragrance for spring and early summer. You cannot go wrong with this if you're looking for a green fragrance. Trust me on that. It smells like you've just walked outside and it's early spring morning and everything's blossoming. You're getting the smell from the grass. You're getting the smell from the plants. That's what this reminds me of. Great fragrance. Hubigance Figu Noir. I wanted to put an inexpensive fragrance on this list because some people just don't have the budget to afford designer fragrance and sometimes niche fragrance. So I always try and throw at least one or two cheapies in the mix. And I could have gone with a few. And I don't think I've spoke about this one a lot because I haven't worn it that much. Well, really, I forgot about it. It is Tobacco and Jazz. I'm telling you something now, I think this is $17.99 for 100ml. This thing smells great. It really does. To me, this is unisex, leaning a little bit masculine, but we'll get into it. Oh, this smells good. This is a job well done. You've got bergamot, orange blossom, pear, osmanthus, rum, sandalwood, cedarwood and tobacco. Now, how does this open up? It opens up sweet, it opens up bright, it opens up a little bit citrusy, a touch floral. 2 minutes in, the vanilla and the osmanthus come through. Now, this is when things start to go really creamy, plus vanillic, plus you do get a little bit of a powdery tone coming from that vanilla. Settles in a little bit more. Now woods come through, the cedar wood really shines, but you still got that fruity quality coming from the osmanthus. The floral edges sort of tame down. To me, that orange blossom and the osmanthus really do give this a little bit of a feminine, creamy, floral quality. But because of the woodsy side of this, I think that's what sort of helps out on the masculine side, if that makes sense. And it sort of, as this dries down, the tobacco comes through, that fruity side calms down, the woods dial up, and then you've got the tobacco as well. And the tobacco here is a little bit dry, is a little bit spicy. It's not smoky. It's not like I wouldn't say it's like a cigarette tobacco or a pipe tobacco. I would say it's more like a tobacco leaf. A little bit spicy and a touch dry. The rum is there, but it's very light. I mean, that rum is minimalistic. It is just way in the back, and I sort of get that after a few minutes, and then it dissipates after another couple of minutes. And when this does dry down and that fruity side takes a back seat, that is when this fragrance sits a little bit more on the masculine side. So it opens up unisex, a touch feminine because of that light floral or the light floral edges, but it dries down to more of a masculine fragrance. But both sexes can wear this. I don't think really it goes one way or the other. It's maybe slightly, but apart from that, this is a great fragrance. £17.99 for 100ml in the UK. You get 4 hours of longevity. That doesn't matter because it's inexpensive. It is a cheap fragrance. If you're looking for something that smells good, doesn't smell, the quality is there. You don't get an alcohol blast. You don't get nothing that's off-putting. It smells of quality. And for £18, that is Tobacco and Jazz. This is a great fragrance. This is underrated, this is. Now, this fragrance house has been around for a very long time. The fragrance house is called Floris, and the fragrance is called Neroli Voyage. If you're into your Neroli fragrances, you are going to love this. It smells pure. It smells of quality. It is smooth. It is a happy fragrance. This, I'll tell you what, This is great for spring. But when the heat hits your skin and you're wearing this, that neroli really does pop in the opening or all the way through. You've got neroli, lemon, marie notes, neroli again, jasmine flower, ginger, fennel seeds, oak wood, amber and musk. So straight out the gate, you know what you're getting. You're getting neroli. You're getting a slight floral edge to the fragrance. It's bright, it's citrusy, it's very minutely sweet. And it does come across as a clean fragrance. There's nothing really dirty to this fragrance. Now, with all this going on, it's a little bit herbal, it's a little bit green. You get some nice zing and spice coming from the ginger, dries down. You start to get a little bit of a woodsy tone that comes through. An aromatic side does creep in. The green tone in the fragrance does dial up a little bit. And when it's sort of sitting in the base, you're getting neroli. You're getting very light floral touches still, and it's white florals that you get in the jasmine. The woods are there, but they are muted. Like the neroli sort of overshadows everything in this fragrance. That is the centre note, but you've got green tones, herbal tones, spicy qualities, woodsy qualities, earthy facet. So you've got all these things going on around that neroli accord, and it stays through and through. It is called Neroli Voyage. It's just a great smelling fragrance. Underrated. I don't see nobody speaking of this fragrance, and for this time of year, it is perfect. Spring and early summer is when you want to be wearing this fragrance. Unisex. Some fellas might smell it and think, it's a little bit too floral for me. That floral side does stay with the fragrance. But to me, it's not overbearing. It really isn't. This is all about the neroli. But I love this fragrance. Deserves a spot on this list, definitely. Longevity, you're going to get 7 hours out of it. So it's not bad again for a freshy, solid fragrance. This fragrance that I want to talk to you about now, I think if more people knew about this fragrance, it would get hype. I think it smells that good. It is Giorino from Milano Fragranze. Beautiful looking bottle. Magnetic cap, weighty cap, great pressurised atomizer. Now, people that own, or the people that own Masque Milano, this is their sister brand. This is their more affordable brand, because Masque Milano is quite expensive. These retail for £100 for 100ml in the UK, and that doesn't knock anything off the quality, I'm telling you. Now, if you enjoy aromatic fougere style fragrances, you're going to appreciate this, but this has a twist. It is also boozy at the same time. You've got Italian amaretto accord, lavender, sage, geranium, cedarwood, white musk, and aquatic notes. So straight away it opens up rich, boozy, nutty, a little bit almondy. With this, it's green, it's a little bit herbal, it's spicy, it's fresh. Now, as it starts to settle in, that musk really does amp up. Like, I do get the musk straight away, but the longer this sits, it's one of them that it gets really musk heavy on my skin. The woods come through, it has a soapy side to it, it is clean. The amaretto in this fragrance stays all the way through, and it really does add a layer of richness into the fragrance. The aquatic notes are there just to keep things fresh. I don't really get anything aquatic from this fragrance. I wouldn't smell this and go, oh, this is an aquatic fragrance. Nah, that aquatic note just keeps everything fresh. The amaretto keeps everything sweet and boozy. I love this stuff. This is a gentlemanly fragrance. I think that you could make this your signature fragrance, but it's also good enough to wear on a night out. It really is. I think it smells great. Longevity, 6 to 7 hours. £100 for 100ml. Just the look of the bottle alone, I'm sold. But the juice inside is fantastic. Great fragrance. This, my friends, is another slept on fragrance. This is Eccentric Molecules Eccentric 05. Now, Molecule 05 is its counterpart, so to speak, and that concentrates on one molecule called cashmerin. This has cashmerin in it, but it has a ton of other notes. Sit down, this might take a minute. You got fig, bergamot, orange, laurel, rosemary, basil, juniper, hedione, cypress, florals, freesia, Irish jasmine, cashmerin, cistus, labdanum, musk, ambroxan, mastic, and isoe super. So it has cashmerin, it has ambroxan, and it has isoe super in it. Now, how does this open up? This opens up sparkling, bright, zesty, fruity, juicy, citrusy, lively. This thing just explodes when it opens up. But with this, it has a woodsy quality to it, plus a musky side. Now, as it starts to settle in, it's aromatic, it's green, it's herbal, wild staying fruity. The florals in this fragrance start to smooth out the mid, because up top it does have a little bit of a sharp edge to it. But as it starts to dry down, the jasmine does come through, which adds in a little bit of sweetness. But like I say, it starts rounding the fragrance, dries down a little bit more. Now the isoe super has come through along with the ambroxan, and that cashmerin really does turn this fragrance musky, and it also gives it a little bit of a dirty edge. But I think that also mixed in with the jasmine creates this dirty facet that this fragrance has, but it's not off-putting. It's just got a little bit of a dirty tinge to the fragrance. There is a lot going on with this. The iris in this fragrance does give it a powdery edge as well. So it's bright, fruity, citrusy, green, herbal, aromatic, spicy, a touch floral, powdery, woodsy, musky. There's a lot going on with this. And I think the perfumer is Sean. I think I've probably butchered his name. He's done great work with all of these fragrances. You've got Molecule 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Then you've got Eccentric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got Molecule 01, which I think is ambroxan, Molecule 02, which is isoe super, Molecule 03, which is vetiver acetate, Molecule 04, which is man, I can't think of it. I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. And you've got Molecule 05, which is cashmerin. Man, what is Molecule 04? I've drawn a blank. But anyway, this is a superb fragrance. This blossoms in the spring and summer. If you haven't tried any from this brand, just give this a go. Try and get yourself a sample. Longevity 7 to 8 hours. It is a fresh fragrance through and through. It does warm up a little bit as it does dry down. Solid scent, solid fragrance. And that is Eccentric 05 from the house of Eccentric Molecules. I wanted to finish on a high note. I wanted to finish with a very classy fragrance, a masculine fragrance, a barbershop fougere fragrance. This is Beau de Jour from the house of Tom Ford. This is his signature collection. A few years back, this fragrance was in his private collection, but now, or a few years ago I should say, he brought it into his signature collection, and it's made it more affordable. Now, to me, this oozes elegance. It really does. You've got lavender extract and lavender, rosemary, mint, basil, geranium, patchouli, amber, and oak moss. This fragrance is all about that lavender. At first, it's a little bit sharp up top. It's a little bit piercing, but it does smooth out after a couple of minutes. It's aromatic. You've got a nice dose of freshness into the fragrance coming from the mint, but the mint and geranium also give Beau de Jour a green tone. It is spicy, it is a little bit woodsy, it does go earthy. It's just a well done, classy, smooth, fougere fragrance, a little bit of a throwback feel to it, but with a modern twist. It doesn't smell completely old school, no. And to me, this is more of a grown-up fragrance. You have to enjoy barbershop style fragrances to appreciate Beau de Jour, because that is what you're going to get through and through. The lavender is the focus or the focal note or accord in this fragrance. Everything happens around lavender. Like I say, green tones, earthy qualities, herbal, spicy, a little bit sweet, a touch woodsy. You've got a dry patchouli in the base, and the fragrance does turn creamy because of the way that lavender works. At first, it's a little bit sharp, smooths out, then starts to go a little bit creamy the longer it sits. Stunning fragrance. Great for spring, great for summer. To be honest, a great all year round fragrance. Long lasting, big projecting. This is a sophisticated scent. You can dress it down, you can wear it in a white t-shirt, but if you're dressed up, looking smart, looking dapper, if you work in an office where you have to wear a suit, if you're going to a wedding, if you're going to a party and you've got a nice shirt on, a pair of trousers, a pair of shoes, and you're rocking this, it's going to leave a scent trail, and people will think that you smell great. There's no doubt about it. But wanted to finish with a classy fragrance, so I did. Beau de Jour from Tom Ford. 100ml of the parfum. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is 8 great spring fragrances. Most of them are designers. There's a few niche in this list, like the Milano Fragranze, Aaron Terence Shoes, and Eccentric Molecules. But the rest, they are designer fragrances. Drop a comment down below which is your favourite spring fragrance. Have you tried any of these? I guarantee a few of you watching this haven't heard of a couple of these fragrances. And if you know me by now, I do not put you on to shit fragrances. Trust me when I say all of these will do you good in spring. Right, I appreciate everybody's support, and remember, smelling good's always a pleasure and never a chore. And I will see you lot on the next one. Cheers.